Well, that'd be the Eagles. Classic Rock Station 100.7 on the Lunchtime Theme Park, and I'm Jim Owen, and the guy playing slide guitar on there is Don Felder, who's sitting here to my right. Don, thank you again for coming in and seeing us here.
Oh, it's fantastic to be here. I'm glad to have it.
And you're playing tonight at Talking Stick Resort, and that was, as we'd mentioned a second ago, kind of your audition for the Eagles. In a way, I mean, you knew Burnley, you knew the guys in the band, you'd said, but they brought you in to play slide guitar on that because they needed a player. And slide guitar, you learned from a big name in an interesting way. You're from Gainesville, Florida, first of all, and as we were just talking about a second ago, Gainesville seems to have something. It's in the air, it's in the DNA. There are so many players and bands that have come out of Gainesville, Florida. It's amazing to me.
Yeah, there were a great number of people that grew up in Gainesville and worked in Gainesville. Tommy Petty was one of my little guitar player students when I was working in this music store.
He called him Tommy.
Yeah, well, he was little
Tommy
Tommy
Petty,
yeah. Stephen Stills and I had a band together when we were 15. My mom would drive me around to different shows with Stephen, and when he left, Bernie Ledden moved to Gainesville and was in the band, replaced Stephen in the band. The Allman Brothers, who used to be called the Allman Joys or the Spotlights, lived over in Daytona Beach, but they came over and worked the University of Florida circuit as well for all the fraternity gigs. So during the summer when the fraternities were out, everybody went over and worked the dance clubs in Daytona Beach. So when we all finished our show that night at 1 o'clock in the morning, we'd go to a diner and hang out and eat breakfast. And we wound up over at Dwayne's house one night, his mother's house, and wound up sitting on the floor, and Dwayne started playing slide guitar, and he was just a remarkable slide guitar player. I had seen other people play slide, but I really wanted to know, how do you do that? So he showed me how to tune the instrument and set up, and he had a chorus Eden bottle and showed me the basic moves on how to play slide guitar. Kind of started me on playing slide guitar, and little did I know it would turn out to be the one thing that got me into the Eagles later down the line.
You know, the music business seems to be a real 6 degrees of separation thing.
It is,
I mean, talk about tight relationships and people you run into and learn from, and the more you read about that.
Yeah, like for example, I saw David or Crosby Nash when Graham Nash was in the Hollies at the University of Florida there singing Bus Stop, Bus Go, We Stay, Love Go, and then wound up being in the band with Crosby Nash when I first got to L.A., replacing Stephen Stills, who was in a band with me when we were 15. So it was just a very kind of small circle of incestuous musicians, I guess.
Oh, that is really tight. We're in with Don Felder, who's going to be at Talking Stick Resort tonight, has a new album out called Road to Forever. We'll hear another song from that coming up here in just a little bit. And I have a copy of the book, Heaven and Hell, and also a copy of the new CD, Road to Forever. I'd like to give to somebody right now. Mark will take your phone calls. Let's do caller number 9 at 602-260-1007. We'll give you Don Felder's book, Heaven and Hell, and also the new CD, Road to Forever. Those Shoes, that's one of your songs from the Eagles, right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to write
What the hell is that song about?
It's about Charles Jourdan, high heel shoes, and how great it makes women's legs look.
Well, all right then. Those Shoes coming up next.